Military declares 11 persons wanted for plateau killings. 2 trailers of vandalized railway sleepers intercepted in Niger. Court fixes July 4 for case against alleged Kano Mosque arsonist. Another foreign scene, South Africa opposition reacts to latest election results. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us. Now the news. The military task force in charge of maintaining peace in Plateau State has declared 11 persons wanted for killings in the state. The Deputy Commander of Operation Safe Haven, Tezengwe Iyua, disclosed this during a press conference in Jos on Friday. According to him, the persons declared wanted were all males. Deputy Commander urged anyone with useful information on the whereabouts of the wanted suspects to kindly contact Operation Safe Haven, the Nigerian Police Force, and the Department of State Services. He said a handsome reward awaits any person or group of persons who provide useful information leading to the arrest of any of the wanted suspects. Over in Sokoto State, the police command has arrested a 27-year-old man, Abdul Nasser Bello, for impersonating the state deputy superintendent of police to defraud people. Parading suspects at the command headquarters in Sokoto on Thursday, State Commissioner of Police CP Ali Kaigama said the Bello was arrested following a series of complaints from his victims. The CP said Bello defrauded his victims with claims of helping them get recruited into the Nigerian police force. Suspected murderer of 6 corps members and a policewoman on duty during post-election violence in 2011 has been arrested by the police commando operatives in Bauchi State. Commissioner of Police Awal Musa Mohammed stated this while parading the suspect and others before journalists in the state. Trust TV's correspondent Adamu Imam reports.
The suspected masterminder Kabiru Musa aka Dawa is said to be a hardened criminal that had for many years terrorizing people of Gyade community in Bauchi State.
The above-mentioned corps members, may their soul rest in peace, tried to take to their heels, while the said suspected killer Dawa, alongside his syndicate, ran in pursuit of the corps members to their various locations of refuge and gruesomely murdered them, one after the other. The syndicate also attacked and broke into shops of traders and carted away valuables, further causing a breakdown of law and order.
An eyewitness from the community who was at the police headquarters confirmed that Kabir Musa was the person who led the mob action that led to the gruesome murder of the corps members, including policewoman, after setting police division on fire.
The suspect set the police station ablaze. The whole environment got burnt that time, and the corps members ran outside the police station to hide, and they were overpowered and killed by the suspected syndicate group. Culprits always denied their actions.
While fielding questions from journalists, the suspect denied participation in the heinous act, though he confirmed he was in Gyade during the crisis, but did not go near the scene of the crime.
I swear, we didn't do anything in regards to the killings of 6 corps members, 2011 in Bauchi. We heard about the crisis, but we are not among them. I'm not involved, honestly.
And we beat him, we torture him and cost the state.
So what is the truth of the matter?
The truth of the matter is that only God can tell.
The Commissioner of Police added that after a manhunt for a decade, the suspects were arrested and the investigation is still ongoing. They will be charged to court after findings of the investigation. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Now, the leadership of Ohanaeze Ndigbo and the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, have denounced the killing of security personnel by unknown armed men in the southeast. President General of the Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide, Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, after a meeting with Nnamdi Kanu, who is in custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, on Thursday, stated that Kanu was not behind the order of the sit at home. Here's more.
Iwanyanwu said the senseless killing of security operatives by a gang of criminals does not enjoy the support of all right-thinking Igbos, the leadership of Ohanaeze, as well as Nnamdi Kanu. He appealed to President Ahmed Tinubu to find a political solution to Nnamdi Kanu's detention because it was no longer a judicial matter but a political one.
I'm sad, very sad that in Igbo land, where I am now presiding as a leader, that some people can come and kill I hear 2 soldiers have been killed somewhere. These are people who are carrying the banner of Nigeria. These are people who have brought out their life for us. And it is very sad. We regard it as a criminal matter.
Iwanyanwu went down memory lane to recall that there have been several agitations for self-determination since independence, from Isaac Boro in the Niger Delta to northerners calling for secession. The Ohanaeze leader explained that several youths from the southwest, south-south and other areas have also been agitating for self-determination, but none of them was behind bars for expressing themselves.
Let's go back into history and you see, we have been talking about the structuring of this country. And I want to take this opportunity again to call Tinubu to take a serious look, an immediate look into the structuring of this country. Until this country is structured to enable people to develop within their capacity, within their potentials, so that people should in fact be able to harvest and exploit God-given potentials in their places.
The Ohanaeze leader had led a delegation which included the Secretary General, the Eze Ndigbo of Abuja, and the former chairman of the Police Service Commission, among others, to meet with Kanu at the DSS headquarters, where he is currently being detained.
Meanwhile, the military high command has vowed to clamp down on terrorists of the proscribed indigenous group of Biafra, IPOB, who masterminded killing of soldiers in the southeast zone of the country while enforcing a sit-at-home order. The report said that vehicles and Kenapep were also set ablaze by rampaging terrorists while the reign of terror lasted. The development, Southeast governors and stakeholders have condemned. Speaking on Friday, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Edward Buba, said the military would retaliate the dastardly act against its troops and bring overwhelming pressure against the terrorists terrorizing the zone. The director explained that the lifeline of the terrorists are people in some areas, insisting that winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible. According to him, the IPOB terrorists capitalized on non-support by the people for the military to perpetrate attacks on the troops, adding that the situation leaves more to be desired. Still in security, the United States Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps said it has intercepted 2 trailers suspected to be transporting vandalized railway sleepers in Mokwa local government area of the state. The Niger State NSCDC Commandant Joachim Okafor said this during a press briefing in his office on Friday. According to him, the command's anti-vandal squad, who were working on intelligence, made the seizure along Mokwa Road in Niger State. Upon sighting the officers, the drivers were said to have taken to their heels, abandoning the trucks. The state commandant asked perpetrators of economic sabotage to stop making Niger State a transit point, as the command will continue to respond to information from the public to arrest and prosecute criminals. A Kano Upper Sharia Court on Friday fixed July 4 for the hearing in the ongoing trial of Shafur Abubakar, age 38, who allegedly set a mosque on fire and killing 21 people. The number of dead from the incident has risen. The defendant, who lives at a village in Gezawa local government area of Kano, is standing trial on 3-count charge bordering on mischief by fire, causing grievous harm, and culpable homicide. The Prosecution Council Director, Public Prosecution, DPP, Kano State, Ministry of Justice, Salisu Tariu, said the court that they have received a copy of the case diary from the police. The officers are said to have contravened the provision of sections 336, 247, and 221 of Kano State Sharia Penal Code law. The defendant pleaded guilty to all the 3-count charge. The presiding judge, Malam Al-Halatul, ordered the prosecution counsel to furnish the defense counsel with all the particulars of the case. He ordered the remand of the defendant in a correctional center and adjourned the matter until July 4 for hearing. Nigerians have been called to unite and restore the lost glory of peace gained during and after attaining independence by the heroes and founding fathers. The call was made in Kaduna at a lecture to strengthen unity through diversity for the progress and development of the nation. Here's the report.
Nigeria is a country with more than 200 ethnic groups. Since the attainment of independence to date, the country has experienced multitude challenges ranging from communal, ethno-religious, and political crises. It is the belief of the leaders in this lecture that harnessing the diversities of Nigeria will no doubt promote unity in the country.
It is when we come together, the spirit of oneness, hospitality, resilience, and innovativeness. As you are aware, Kaduna is the most diverse state in the whole of Nigeria.
Our religion must not be a dividing factor to us, my fellow Nigerians. The fact that I am from the north central wing of the 19 states we share, everybody in this room is my brother and my sister. There should be a power and a strength, and it must be a unifying knot, what holds all of us together. When we recognize and appreciate and accept this fact, then there will be no them or us. We become all one.
In his address, Chief BC Akande says Nigeria has come a long way as a nation and therefore must begin to enjoy the dividend of independent nation.
Towards the last election, the prophecy was big that tinubu will not become the APC candidate. He did become. Religious clerics of one belief and the other became sleepless for him not to win the presidential election. One Nigeria is a major part of what we are now celebrating today. I am therefore particularly convinced that Nigeria will forever continue to be sustained as a more peaceful, more developed, more progressive, and more prosperous country.
The representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, Brigadier General Akin Ojo, emphasized the commitment of the service chiefs to maintain a one united Nigeria.
Approach to even the tactics, techniques, and procedures for fighting counterinsurgency warfare, fighting insecurity have been totally overhauled. So we see more collaboration with other paramilitary agencies. We see more cooperation even with ministries, departments, and agencies in what we call integrated operations. And that's because the right people have been put in place.
The lecture is aimed at promoting unity among the diverse groups in Nigeria, especially in the north, where many ethno-religious and political crises were recorded in the past. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The federal government has sealed an illegal mining site at Golbe Kuje Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory FCT, arresting 3 suspects in its ongoing efforts to combat illegal mining and revenue loss in the mining sector. A statement from the Ministry of Solid Mineral Development said the operation carried out by the mining marshals led by Assistant Commandant John Onoja Atta was made possible through meticulous intelligence gathering and surveillance. It noted that preliminary investigations revealed that the suspects lacked any documentation authorizing their mining activities on the site. The statement added that a legitimate mining company with the necessary permits for the same location was unable to access the site due to the illegal miners' activities and resistance. The seized minerals and equipment on site have been marked as exhibits for prosecution, and further investigations are ongoing to uncover the extent of the illegal activities. Over in Osun State, residents of Osogbo, capital of the state, are groaning in pains as contractor handling the ongoing road construction in some parts of the city blocked major roads. Residents lamented that this has disrupted economic activities in the affected areas and subjected people to difficulties. Hamido Yemadi tells us more.
The road between Alekuwodo and Okefia in Osogbo was blocked to enable the construction of a flyover bridge and the access. Also, the Lameko roundabout was blocked for another flyover bridge along Agumbelewo area. Since then, business owners in the area could not continue with their economic activities.
It could have been better to have done this in stages, rather than blocking a lot of parts and roads, such as to make it very difficult for people to access. Okefia is actually a big center of the city. So I don't know why we're doing this for ourselves in a country like this, because I've been to other nations, and when they do their things, it's quite different. They take into consideration other road users.
Many of us that have our businesses and enterprise in this region, we are not finding it easy at all. We are not finding it easy at all. We have to park our cars at very long distance from where we are actually from where our businesses and enterprises are. So we want to encourage the government to please speed up the project.
Governor Ademola Adeleke's spokesperson, Rashid Olawale, said the governor is aware of the situation and pleaded with residents to endure it.
The appeal of Mr. Governor to our people is that they should kindly endure. It's just for some few times, and the ministry is also working to create alternative channels so that the congestion and the hardship being faced by our people will be largely minimized. But overall, you see, the pain of putting up infra upgrade, every society normally experiences it.
The residents pleaded with the governor to ensure that the projects are completed without delay. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
In business, Nigeria may add 480,000 barrels to its daily crude oil output as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and ExxonMobil took a step towards resolving the disagreement surrounding the sale of the latter's asset to Seplat Energy. On Thursday, the NNPCL confirmed it had signed a settlement agreement with ExxonMobil companies in Nigeria over the proposed divestment of a 100% interest in Mobil Producing Nigeria Unlimited to Seplat Energy Offshore Limited. This is coming barely 2 days after President Bola Tinubu announced his intervention in the debacle between NNPCL and ExxonMobil, hindering the sale of the assets to Seplat. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Heineken Lokpobori, said recently that Nigeria had lost about $30 billion in the past 2.5 years as a result of the unsuccessful divestment. Still in business, the federal government has secured a $500 million World Bank loan to enhance power distribution in the electricity sector following last month's tariff increase for top consumers across the country. The Bureau of Public Enterprise, BPE, announced on Thursday that the World Bank approved the loan in 2021 and it was included in the government's borrowing plan this month after achieving certain milestones. The concessionary loan is intended to enhance the financial and technical performance of distribution companies, which have struggled to increase capacity over a decade after Nigeria privatized its electricity sector. Away from Nigeria and South Africa, the main opposition leader Friday morning said that breaking the African National Congress's majority is, quote, the way to rescue South Africa, end of quote, as 60% of votes have been counted with long-time ruling party ANC only holding just under 42%. That represented a huge drop from the 57.5% it received in the last national election in 2019. Although the final results from Wednesday's election have not yet been declared, more than 50% is required in order for ANC leader President Cyril Ramaphosa to remain president under South Africa's parliamentary system. Senegal's new president Bassirou Diomaye Faye has held talks with Mali's leader Colonel Assimi Goïta in the Malian capital Bamako Thursday. Faye, who was in Bamako to discuss cooperation between Mali and Senegal and to talk about Mali's membership of ECOWAS, said he understood that Mali's position, which although rigid, is not totally inflexible. The visit to Mali is the first leg of a journey that will take Faye to Burkina Faso, another Sahelian country which, like Mali, faces the threat of armed terrorist groups linked to Al-Qaeda and is ruled by another military junta followed a coup d'etat. Faye's recent election pledge was to bring Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger back into the ECOWAS regional bloc.
We also discussed the question of ECOWAS. As you know, Mali is a member of the Alliance of Sahel States, and those who followed my trip to the various ECOWAS countries heard me preach this good word. I had a long exchange with the colonel, and I understood Mali's position, which, although rigid, is not totally inflexible. But we think that, at least from my point of view, we must continue to work with all the parties involved. We must not be discouraged. We must find happy ways to strengthen integration.
And in sport, Jose Mourinho is set to become Samuel's coach at Turkish giant Fenerbahce. This is according to Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano. He wrote on his X that Fenerbahce are closing in on the agreement to appoint Jose Mourinho as new head coach. Mourinho was sacked after 2.5 years in charge at Serie A heavyweight AS Roma. He led Roma to the Europa Conference League title in 2022, their first ever European title. Still in sports, General Manager Issa Lawal of the Nigerian Rugby League has announced June 24 as the kickoff date for the 2024 season. The Southern Conference is set to kick off with over 5 teams participating. Each of these teams will field squads in the men's, women's and under-19 categories, underscoring commitment to inclusive growth and development across all levels of the sport. Furthermore, the simultaneous participation of men, women and under-19 teams is a monumental boost for developing rugby league throughout Nigeria. And that's it for news updates at this time. For more news, updates, programs and documentaries, please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time.